Would you talk a bit more about Cancard and what you've had to go through to organise and what that sort of journey has been like? So obviously, you've talked about your own experience and how that's given you at least some serious insight. And I don't think anyone can question your legitimacy when you're talking about these subjects. And I hope that you didn't come up. Did you come up against a lot of negative vibes or just disbelief from those? And what was your experience?
I've not had disbelief from I've not had any negativity from the authorities. I think some negativity has come my way, but I think that's been from different groups in the community. Actually, that there's been much more negativity from inside the cannabis community, and we see that playing out in the States. When I speak to activists in the States, they were like, "Oh, this happened here." There's sort of warring groups, but in terms of getting this over the line, I literally just sat and had a cup of tea with people, human to human.
Yeah.
And we didn't do any of that standing on ceremony and yes sir, no sir. I went on a Zoom call. I worked my way up the ranks. They introduced me to the higher person. They introduced me to another rank. They introduced me to another rank until I got to the top. And then I just sat and had a cup of tea with the head of the National Police Chiefs Council. And I said, the question I asked him was, this patient community, do you think that they deserve to be criminalised for taking a medicine that's keeping them well, no matter where they're accessing it from? And he couldn't tell me yes. And that was the point where we went, right, well, we need to be doing something about it, because at the moment those people, those really poorly people, are living in fear of the people who we're paying to protect them. They're in fear of your employees. Can we do something to stop that? And surprisingly, he said yeah. So we are where we are, and that goes against the Home Office. They're actively going against their superiors, and and when there's been a few freedom of information requests to the Home Office for the foundation evidence that sits under the Misuse of Drug Acts 1971. They've said, can we see the foundation evidence that cannabis is a harmful substance? And the letters that they get back, have you seen these, John? The letters that they get back are, we can't find it. It's probably been archived.
Yeah. So no one's
we don't have the evidence.
There is no evidence.
Yeah. And I went into the archive. I spent 3 days scouring the archive.
They never thought anyone would check. They just made it up, and they just thought no one would ever bother digging this up and finding out it's just evil and everything's evil. And
there is no foundation evidence. So at the moment they're upholding a law, and the police are being asked, no matter what you think about the police, and I've had mixed experiences with police. No matter what you think about them, they are just humans. They're somebody's brother, somebody's sister, somebody's daughter. They didn't sign up to go and put people in prison for consuming a plant for their multiple sclerosis. They signed up to go and catch baddies. They're being put in a difficult position as well.